What's up everyone, my name's Janum. I got into several top 20 colleges and some of you guys asked what my stats and extracurriculars were, and that's exactly what I'm going to be going over today in this video. Alright, so first I'm going to start off with my GPA, and I had a 4.0 unweighted GPA and a 4.7 weighted GPA at the time of applying, so my junior year, by the end of my junior year. And I also will list all of the classes I took. So I'm going to start with freshman year. I took AP World History, Biology Accelerated, English 1 Accelerated, Gifted Lyceum, which is like a gifted cohort at my school, Math 2, it's like algebra, PE, so freshman PE, Robotics, and Spanish 2 Accelerated. I got all A's in my freshman year. Then moving on to sophomore year, I took Computer Science, AP Computer Science A, AP United States History, Chemistry Accelerated, English 2 Accelerated, Gifted Lyceum, which is like, it's a 4-year program, so I was in it out 4 years, Health, Math 3 Compression, Spanish 3 Accelerated, and I got all A's in those classes as well. Then my junior year, I really ramped it up a little bit. I took AP Calculus BC, AP Environmental Science, AP Language and Composition, AP Physics 1, AP US Comp, or AP US Government, yeah, Financial Literacy, Gifted Lyceum, Junior Leaders, which is, I'll explain that more, Spanish 4 Accelerated, and I also got all A's in those classes. And I guess it is also worth mentioning that even though in my transcript it says I took a junior year, over my sophomore year summer I took a class at BYU which was pre-calculus that allowed me to take Calculus BC my junior year. Okay, and then for senior year I took AP Literature and Composition, AP Physics C, AP Spanish, AP Stats, Cybersecurity, Gifted Lyceum, Multivariable, Senior Leaders, and a Art History class I took. I got all A's in those classes. You only submit your junior year grades for early action, and you only submit your first semester. So I had a 4.0 GPA up till the first semester of my senior year. And then I did get my first ever B second semester senior year, because I mean, it was the end of the semester. I had already committed to college and I fell off a little bit, I won't even lie, at the end there. That was all my GPA in high school and all the classes I took. Okay, now I'll move on to my test scores, and I only took the SAT, I never actually took the ACT. I could probably make a whole video on the SAT itself, but I took it officially 5 times. And I'll start with my PSAT. So my 9th grade PSAT 8/9 was a 1340 with a 620 reading and a 720 math. Then I got a 1330 in sophomore year for the PSAT 10, 640 reading, 690 math. Then in my first actual SAT, official one, I got a 1430. I got a 680 reading and a 750 math. Then I took the PSAT, which is like the official one for national merit. I got a 1440 on that, 680 reading, 760 math, and this one is actually out of 760, so that was the math score. For my next SAT, which I took in October 6, 2023, I got a 1490, which was actually, this is actually my highest non-super scored score. I got a 740 reading, 750 math. Then I took it again in December and I got a 1480, so that was about 2 months of me trying to study but not really studying, but my math score did go up, so I had a 710 reading, 770 math. Then I had the school SAT, which I did not try on at all, and I got a 1400, 690 reading, 710 math. And then I took a SAT on August 24th, got a 1450, 710 reading, 740 math. My story with the SAT is I tried really hard at the beginning, then as school started, I kind of burnt out and stopped putting as much emphasis on it when I really should have, and that caused me to take it more times than I really had to. But I ended with a 1510 super score, and I submitted that to basically every school. The score didn't really hold me back necessarily, so I guess at the end of the day, it was all good. Alright, so next I'll tell you guys the AP scores I got for each of my APs, besides senior year. Freshman year, I got a 5 in AP World, I got a 4 in AP Computer Science A, and a 4 in AP United States History sophomore year. And then junior year, I got a 5 in all of the APs I took. Actually, AP Lang, I got a 4, so that was the one I didn't get a 5 in. And then senior year, I have no idea yet, so yeah. Alright, so now I'm going to be moving on to the extracurriculars I had, and I think this is the most important part of your application right after GPA and course selection. and I'll definitely be making videos on how to improve your extracurriculars. But for now, I'll tell you guys mine, and I'll be looking at my PC a little bit because I haven't been able to memorize all of this information because there's a lot. So my top extracurricular was UMich CS, which is the largest charity organization at my school, or basically the largest club at my school. We have over 130 members. We have raised over $25,000 for various charities, and I'll list them somewhere over here. And we've also helped plan and participate 2 charity basketball games, which is like a students versus teachers thing that we did. And I personally helped plan 2. We've had these since my freshman year, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah! And we basically set up a silent charity auction every year where we go to a bunch of stores nearby, local businesses, and ask them for any items that they would be willing to give us, and then we make a huge auction. We have online things and people come up to us in person. This year I was in charge of helping with the website, and I also went and took my own group to get items from, I think it was one of the malls in town. And then yeah, that money we were able to save over 3,200 mothers and infants junior year. I'll show you guys the email if I can find that, and that was really cool. My second biggest club, or I guess extracurricular, is Make It Make Sense, and I think I'll include some clips of my website here as well. And this was on here I put co-founder plus developer plus resource manager, and honestly at that point I was kind of just inflating it, but it was an organization that me and my friends created to help young people become more financially literate, because that's something I am actually super passionate about. So then we launched a project based on trying to aimed at helping kids, because we had libraries near us. So we went to libraries and we just held workshops where we, taught them finance, taught them how to budget, save stuff. Kids loved it. They loved their games, the little market things we did. And my biggest contribution was the website, which I coded with HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. It was my first big CS project where I did everything on my own, and it took me well over 60 hours because my first web dev project. Now for my third extracurricular, that would be DECA, and I was the treasurer of my DECA. I think I got that position junior year or maybe senior year, I don't remember. But we didn't actually have a DECA, and for those of you guys who don't know what DECA is, it's like a business club where you basically just compete in various different categories. Like I did personal financial literacy my senior year. I recommend that one. That one's fun, but it is very competitive. My biggest award that I got from that was top 4 at state with my partner for financial literacy project. And for that I created a 10+ video investing course. We just basically posted on YouTube and sent it to a bunch of friends. So we got 5,000 impressions. But we did write a 20-page paper for it, which included all of our research, project, how we marketed it, and all that. And we presented a 15-minute presentation to a judge. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, that was basically it for DECA. I mean, nothing too crazy. Then on to my fourth extracurricular, which it's more of a class than an extracurricular, and it was Lyceum, that program I mentioned earlier in my transcript. Lyceum is, you have to test to get into it, and it's a class of, I think, 24 kids or maybe more, but basically we took some, it was a paper folding test. We had really weird questions on it. Anyway, I got in. It was a leadership and gift and service. It was focused on that, a gifted program, and I love everyone in that class. I think we have one of the best Lyceum classes in a long time. These are my best friends in that class. And freshman and sophomore year, it was an actual class in our transcript where we actually attend, but then junior and senior year we just did projects, and I have so many projects from Lyceum, I can't even mention all of them. But some of the most notable things was we raised $2,000 for Exodus, which aided immigrants. Exodus is a Chicago-based refugee. They help refugees that have moved in, and that we were able to raise $2,000 for them. Then we tutored kids at a family center, which is a FRC near our school. We also had a Detroit trip in the summer, which was amazing. I really love that trip. I'll probably include some pictures on it too. Basically, we worked 9 to 5, free of charge, of course. It was all volunteer work, and we just helped homeowners, whether it be someone had a broken stairwell, we went and helped them out with that. I learned a lot about like woodworking and like working with people. I met a lot of people as well, and it really it was definitely a perspective shifter for me, and I think I just enjoyed the experience as a whole. It was amazing, and we were able to help a lot of people. Now on to probably the most fun extracurricular on here, and that's volleyball. And I love volleyball, so naturally this was one that was probably the easiest for me to do, but not the easiest because I ate my time. But so basically, I've been in many different clubs, and it might look confusing here, but freshman year I was part of Forza. Then sophomore year I was playing with Mod, and that's when I actually went to SoCal, which is a cup in California. We didn't really win anything notable, but we did have a lot of fun. So, you know, that's all that matters. And then we also went to nationals in Florida in that summer. Then I actually stopped playing club and only played high school volleyball. For high school volleyball, I was a freshman A team captain, sophomore JV captain. I was a starting outside hitter junior year, and then I was varsity captain this year. Yeah, and then junior year summer, I organized our summer league because our head coach at the time left the program. So I had to manage player rosters, game schedules, and basically just had to balance team rotations while coaching matches. So yeah, that was pretty chill. I love volleyball. I think just being in a sport in general, don't do it for the sake of college apps. Don't do anything for this, just the pure sake of college apps. But if a sport is something you really enjoy, even if you know you're not going to play D1, like I knew I wasn't going to be D1 volleyball or anything, but I thought I was pretty solid and I had fun. JV year was my favorite year by far. That was amazing. We went 29-1 and 10-0 in conference. That is like unheard of in our school to do in any sport, so that was a lot of fun. So yeah. All right, I'll go a little bit quicker for these last few extracurriculars because I didn't spend as much time in them. So MTech, this is a club. Basically, my friend owns the club. He got it handed down to him from one of his older senior friends. So then basically what we do is we just go around in the, I guess, township, because it's called Maine Township Environmental Coalition, and we just clean trash off the floor. So we cleaned over 1,000 pounds of trash since we started. My job was to, I guess, post around, but really our president did most of the work. All we had to do was show up and clean. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Then my next club was the vice president of treasurer of Kiva, and I managed the Kiva bank account. We raised $600, loaned to a coffee shop. We loaned to a coffee shop in Jordan. We bought a cow for a female in Pakistan to help support her family. Next, I was the strength and conditioning. So I led a strength and conditioning class, which was junior, senior leaders. Junior leaders, you get trained to basically lead a class of your own, and your senior leaders when you actually do that. Okay, and then dance. Adipoli South. So Adipoli South was a South Asian dance team at our school. I joined for fun, and it was a lot of fun. So we performed multiple traditional dances in front of lots of people. It was like my first performative dance experience, so that was fun. And then for my last extracurricular on here, I was a student in training for flight school, which I started at 11 years old. I was very inconsistent with it because I realized I didn't really want to be a pilot, but I still found flying a lot of fun, so I was kind of mixed. But I ended up getting 62.3 hours total in a Cessna Skyhawk 172 with 7.5 hours of dual at night and 11.6 hours of dual cross country. So yeah, that is an amazing experience to have. If I do ever want to be a pilot in the future, which I don't really know anymore, but I could even make a video on that, why I stopped flying. That's a good idea. So yeah, that is all my extracurriculars. Real quick, here are my honors that I put on my Common App, and from top to bottom they're ranked. So my top honor was National Merit. I was a commended student, which was top 3.3% of test takers of the PSAT. And I was an NHS leader. NHS is like a big club, pretty common across all high schools. I was AP Scholar of Distinction, Spanish Honor Society, and then I was selected as Illinois State Scholar. So those last three awards are kind of just more basic. And then I didn't put my DECA Top 4 State Award because I mentioned it in my extracurriculars. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys haven't already, please watch the college decision reaction video right here, or the things I actually wish I knew before high school. Next week, I'll be uploading a video where I go over why I believe stats aren't everything and ECs colleges actually want to see. Peace, guys.